Ladies and gentlemen, Stephanie Mills.
Yeah! The queen.
Thank you. I'm 66. I just had my 66th
What?
birthday.
You excuse me?
Wow.
Stop the music, sir. Excuse us. Excuse me?
March 22nd, I turned 66.
Oh, my goodness.
You don't look nothing like no.
At all.
If okay. The top number, I would say 33, 34.
No.
Like real talk. No.
Oh, yeah, for real.
Look at you. I'm serious. 33, 34 years old. Like, I'm serious. That's how young you look, Miss Stephanie.
Thank you.
Flawless.
And I love you. We
go way back.
We go way back.
And I'm only here because of you and Pastor Haynes. Because, honey, I don't do nothing on show day.
I know. We know.
I love you, though.
I love you, too. Brett.
I feel good all over.
Okay, yeah, come on, Brett.
Come on, Brett.
We had a whole, at Pastor Haynes, we had a whole thing. We played I Feel Good all over. We had a whole, remember that we played when we do songs that stay in your head all day?
Oh, yes, honey. I was telling Miss Mills, I love Stephanie Mills, honey, and all her music.
The church version of I Feel with the choir in the background, the extended version. I did a whole video with that song in the car. It went viral.
Wow.
I was in that song get you in your feelings.
Oh, yeah.
And then we listen to this right here. Let me tell you how cool my pastor is, Dr. Frederick Douglass Haynes. So for pastor's anniversary, one time he brought in Frankie Beverly. So this year for the 40th pastor's anniversary, we having
the one and only.
The one and only.
He brought me in, yes.
Stephanie Mills.
I appreciate that,
it's
Pastor Haynes.
Unbelievable.
Listen, and we have a connection because I used to preach at her church in Brooklyn, New York, Cornerstone Baptist Church.
Yes, Dr. Sandy F. Ray.
Dr. Sandy F. Ray and her mother. Sandy Ray did my dad's funeral, too.
Oh.
But her mother and father, real faithful. They'd come up to me after church, and they would say, okay, you had a good sermon. Now let us tell you about Stephanie. And they would go 5-10 minutes talking about Stephanie Mills. You know, folk are in line to speak, and they talking about Stephanie Mills the whole time. I said, okay, I'm going to meet her one day.
Right.
And so she said, well, she's in North Carolina this year. Well, she's in this city this year. She's here this year. But one year we going to connect y'all. And so 40 years later.
And my sister loved you. She used to always talk about you,
Wow.
Pastor Haynes.
I remember her. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 And she's still putting on a concert like it seemed like Brett. It just seems like the more you do it, the better you get. The more like you like a show.
Thank you.
Like straight up singing.
Yes.
You know, I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it, and I'm doing it at my own pace and the way I want to. And I have a great manager, of course, that knows
Shout
me.
out to Earl.
Yeah, and
Indianapolis on Amp. Everybody, they listen to us in Naptown. Everybody in Naptown know the 317 Amp. Everybody know who Amp is in Naptown.
and when I sing every day. So I sing to my music, so I can sound somewhat like I sounded back in the day.
Yes.
Right.
That's important because when you see your favorite artist performing live, you want them to sound like the album, the CD that we used to listen to.
That's what I told her, honey. I'm like, girl, when I saw a concert recently, she and Patti LaBelle, she sang like the album, and I loved it. I was like, oh, all
I'm so
my
happy
songs,
you said
honey.
that because I really try to sing like that.
You did, honey. It was amazing.
Man, and Pastor, so we doing a double interview. So we're gonna go back and forth.
Team.
Right, Brad. Okay. Now, Pastor Haynes, as a pastor in Dallas, Texas, what's been the hardest thing you had to deal with while being a pastor for the past 40 years?
Well, I mean, the ongoing struggle for our rights as a people, the fight for justice has not stopped. As a matter of fact, I think it's intensified and become more subversive. And so, and we have to realize that what goes on with public policy is eventually going to come to our address. And so when we look at what's happening in Austin right now in terms of all the bills being passed, as bad as the last legislative session was in terms of suppressing the vote, this year it's going to be worse. Ricky, do you know that they are removing the possibility of students on college campuses having a voting precinct? Now, if I go to the University of Texas, 50,000 students, and I can't get a voting machine on campus with 40 to 50,000 students. I mean, you were not only suppressing my vote, but you were disenfranchising me. That is going on right now. We talk about what's happening in Florida. We're right in Austin, Texas. They're passing laws against diversity, equity, and inclusion because they do not want that at this time. And so we see Tennessee, we see Florida, but Texas in a real silent, quiet way is messing with our rights, and we won't know it until it hits us later. And so that, for me, getting us involved, because when folk have declared war on you and you don't fight back, there's something wrong with you. You've often said that whenever you see injustice going on, it's kind of like what Pavlov's dog, you say, it just triggers something within you to fight. And so for me, I feel that. And so for me, church is not just what we do on Sunday. Sunday gets us ready for what we do in the streets during the week to make a difference and impact, because again, public policy will come to your address and mess up everything. You living your best life, and all of a sudden, here comes public policy and injustice violating that. So for me, that's been the challenge.
Yes, sir.
That I can't just be inspirational. I've got to also get in the streets and fight for our rights. And the struggle continues.
All right, y'all, we got the one and only Pastor Frederick Douglass Haynes and the beautiful, lovely, I'm so excited to have both of y'all here, Stephanie Mills, in the studio. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up.
What's up?
We are with the beautiful songstress, actress, Grammy Award winner, Miss Stephanie Mills. Also, Pastor Frederick Douglass Haynes in the building. Did you know that he's a member of this morning show?
Yes.
Yeah,
he sure is.
He bring that word every morning.
He does bring the word. I really respect him. He's a true, beautiful black man.
Absolutely. Love Dr. Haynes.
I need that recorded so I can just play that every single day.
Let them know.
Yes. Stephanie Mills.
Hey, Brad.
Beautiful black man.
Yes.
Brad, message. Pastor Haynes got the preaching. Was that 2 or 3 Sundays ago?
Yeah.
That man preached so hard his socks came down.
He was flapping at the toe.
Yeah, the socks came out. His shoes and stuff started unraveling.
Wow.
That's how hard he preached.
Come on.
I'm talking about I almost jumped up and ran out of there. I'm talking about he was on one.
Sometimes you need it.
Right. Man, listen, so I have to ask, you got into the business, at a young age.
Yes.
And ain't it crazy, Ron, to be sitting here talking to somebody that actually did stuff with Michael Jackson? Like, what?
Come on, man.
Yes.
I'm over here shaking.
Whoever would have thought you, Pastor Haynes, you ever thought you'd be sitting next to Stephanie Mills and we at home watching The Wiz because we couldn't afford to go see it at the movie. We had to wait for it to come on. Watching The Wiz, and that was 1976.
No, we actually opened in 1974.
No, what?
Yeah, January 5th, 1974, and I was in it for 5 years. The Wiz won 7 Tonys. They don't talk about that.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
Man, Brad, go ahead. I know you dying to ask something.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, Miss Mills. Oh, my God. We just love you and adore you over here and just appreciate all your work and everything you've done for our lives. Your music is like the soundtrack of our lives and for the culture. And it's just like so refreshing to hear real music and to see your shows and see a real band performing, a real performer that's been doing it for like years, and you still singing and you sound amazing. Anyway, you've done it all. You've sung on stages worldwide. You've graced the stages of Broadway, and you've been on the big screen. And now you're starring in a new Lifetime film with Erica Campbell. Please tell us about this film.
Well, Derek Williams, who's one of the executive producers, called and asked me. He first called Donald Lawrence and then called me and said, do you want to do this part? It's a part for a 60-year-old woman, and it's Birdie, and it's called Pride. I was like, yeah. After they got the business straightened, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So I flew to Canada. And we shot it in 17 days.
What?
And nephew Tommy was my son.
Right.
Erica Campbell played pastor. I forget the pastor's name, but she played the pastor in the show. So it was wonderful. And I hadn't done any acting in a long time because nobody would really give me a job.
Right.
So I hadn't done it. So I was so excited. The only thing I was worried about was remembering my lines.
Right.
Oh, no. I was just looking at Stephanie, and I was talking to her earlier about all her music and what have you. But the song, Me and my friend Kevin love Honey the music, but you know what? I have this question here now.
Now, let's get into the argument. 'Cause I think her signature song is this. I feel good all over. That's the one that tear my soul up. But you said, well,
Keep away, girls. This one's all mine, honey.
You talk about that song every day.
Don't I talk about it, Brad?
You say that every
Keep
day.
away.
Yes,
Keep
I
away.
love this song.
I told him, I said that song was written by Nick Ashford and Valerie Simpson. They
Really?
produced it. Yep, they
Yes.
produced it.
Wow.
They're like my favorite couple. May he rest in peace. But they
Right.
were like my favorite couple.
Yeah.
Stephanie, don't nobody sing home the way you sing
How?
home.
Come on,
Lord.
say Brad. Come on,
And, and
bring it home.
Gary, I
Come
know
on,
you
Brad.
love Miss Ross, and we do love Miss Ross.
Yeah.
But don't nobody.
Nobody. Come on.
You hit nobody.
Yeah.
Sing that song like Miss Stephanie Mills. Okay?
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you.
So yeah, but we're talking to the fabulous, honey, the fabulous, the divine Miss Stephanie Mills. Now, so Stephanie, you recently performed your signature song, "You Never Knew" or "Never Knew Love Like This," honey, on the Tamron Hall show.
Yes.
And halfway through the song, girl, you brought, honey, your son Farad.
Yes.
You know, who has Down syndrome on the stage.
Yes.
So talk to us about your son and the impact he has on your life.
Oh my God. I had Farad when I was 45. And the doctors were like, oh, well, he's going to be disfigured and this and that. And I was like, I don't care. If he has one eye, my baby and I going to rock this world together. And I promised him when I had him that we would rock but he thinks he's Amp's boss.
Oh, really?
He's at the hotel sleeping. He wanted to come, but I said, you're going to be sleeping in the morning. He's at the hotel sleeping, but he is absolutely amazing. He's the best thing I've ever done. He's an A student. He's written a book, Farad J, and he's worked on his second book that's coming out soon.
Yeah.
And he already has the third book in his mind. So
Really?
he is just
That's awesome.
amazing. I mean, if he was to come in here, he'd totally want to take over.
Okay.
Right. And I'm just enjoying it because all of this wrapped around the 40th anniversary. And, see, we need to encourage more pastors to do stuff like this for the pastor's anniversary.
But I don't think all pastors are like Pastor Haynes.
Come on now.
You better preach.
All right now.
Because he's really for the culture. He's
Right.
really for us.
Yeah.
And he hasn't drank the Kool-Aid.
I done seen him get death threats.
Really?
What?
Oh, yeah.
Well, call me.
We done had to get in cars.
I got
You a
you,
real
baby.
one. You
a real
I
one.
got you.
Oh yeah.
and safely get him home, like security.
Really?
Because remember now, you in Texas and you out here protesting civil rights, going up against the KKK and the Trumpies and all of this kind of
Right.
stuff. The death threats and stuff that he has gotten over the years.
Oh, it's crazy.
Because everybody, it takes guts, Miss Mills, to stand up for something like that, and taking some of the heat that Dr. King took with the death threats and all that kind of stuff. You know, so just all of this celebrating Pastor Haynes and having you to come here and be here for us for our 40th pastor's church anniversary. We just so happy. Back when Friendship West had the air conditioning in the back sticking out the window.
The Wild Wild West.
The
baby.
old Friendship West would be so hot if you don't get to Sunday school, you can't get a seat.
They had to still put the chairs in the aisle.
Yeah, but yeah, right. They had to go get chairs from the Sunday school and put the chairs down the aisle, and he'd make all the men get up, and let the ladies get
Sit
seated,
down.
and the air conditioning in the window be on blast in Sunday school because it's gonna get hot. And then they start cracking the window. Folks started shouting. The paramedics used to come every Sunday because somebody would pass out. That's how hard he used to. That's how hard he used to. And then on Pastor's anniversary, when they put the living room furniture. When they put the living room furniture at the front, and the pastor and the first wife have on a big hat, and she's blocking all the blessings.
Yeah.
All the blessings are being blocked. Oh, the old Friendship West. We are happy to have you here to celebrate with us.
I am so happy to be here. You just don't know. And I'm going to sing my heart out, too.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah.
We already know that.
I'm
Already.
wearing some Nike socks with my church shoes. I might take off and start running. You heard me?
Yeah.
Like rededicate my life tonight. Gary, you got to be Gary. Gary, we gonna have to go.
I know, honey. I don't want to be there, honey.
Can't wear that, but you can come.
Wait up, Pastor Haynes.
I'm sorry, Gary. I'm sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Dr. Frederick Douglass Haynes and Stephanie Mills.
Stephanie Mills.
Real quick, let everybody know how you can be followed, how they can follow you.
Oh, on Instagram. I am Stephanie Mills, Instagram and Facebook.